Yeah.
That is the introduction. I feel like Yanko knew who it was. He was just trying to play that off a bit.
Sure.
You know? Yeah, it's Yanko.
Well,
it's fine.
Speaking... I don't know, I've got nothing on that. TyLoo and mousesports will be playing Inferno now, and we'll see what happens here. It is looking likely that mousesports will be running away with this 1-2-0. TyLoo didn't look too good on their previous results in this particular map, getting 16-1 by their countrymen. Didn't really look too promising there, and you saw the likes of Astralis in the kill feed of mousesports there. So they got G2, Astralis. They look pretty well versed, and they haven't got a stand in here like TyLoo do. Should be a bit of a bloodbath. I was kind of hoping it would be quite an exciting match. Maybe it still will be, but it doesn't look great.
I think the better thing is the ops are more, I want to say limited, but it's not the right word. They're more constricted, I think, in the way that they can play. On the CT side, there's not as much pressure put on them for tight angles. There's not as many positions that are open to them. It's more set and defined, and therefore running the double op with AE and accurate could actually be better and easier for them.
Sure, Inferno is pretty like cookie cutter in terms of the AWP approach. Everyone will play it a similar sort of way. Everyone knows what safe train is. Very open, very flashy, lots of crazy movement required and intelligent plays. Don't really need that in Inferno. You just need to be hitting your shots and know the timings and read the game well. Looks like we are ready to go. Hopefully we can just start this one nice and smoothly. As we'll see, mousesports starting on the CT side, certainly the more favoured one. They started on the T side before, so nice to see them swap over and have the head start. We'll see what works out for them. It will be TyLoo purchasing up 3 sets of armour so far, and I think we've got a P250 for accurate. Let's see whether he can live up to his name. It's going to be him trying to go toe-to-toe with the USPs at long range at the beginning of the round. You can see the odds there in our lovely AR graphics and spawn. And we'll get into it then. Here we go. One kit for Sunny this time. Normally Sticker that picks it up, but let's see if this works out. Sunny will be flashing over towards B and trying to set up his teammates. Sticker looking for that first frag. And we could see a bit of action here nice and early. Chris J will be battling as he looks towards the bottom of B. Can't quite nail that first shot, but certainly does on the second. That's DD to go down. That's job complete as far as I'm concerned for Chris. But if he can establish himself with the barrels at this point and just hold up, his teammate could fall back towards A and they could have a real stronghold on that side of the map.
Accurate to work top mid with somebody. No DD in the play, and somebody spotted. No one even support. That doesn't make any sense. Second shot is beautiful by Oscar. But they're both looking toward the same side. They're trying to bait it out, but no one considering Arch at all. Look at Oscar go. A third as well. Bomb down. Looking for the fourth. Can't quite. And finally does. I was going to say can't quite get it in one shot, but still a headshot nonetheless. 4 kills total. Not the first, but all the rest.
Well, there we go. Not really much to report there. Just mousesports manhandling TyLoo as they made their way towards B. Flashes over. Chris J, so good at that USP. Every single time he's hit the shots, sets up his teammates, and it will be Oscar with 4 as they get funneled back towards the A site. And that's not going to be good news for TyLoo. If he starts getting into that beast mode, they could be in for a real bumpy ride here. CZ's and armor, 1 smoke and a flashbang. We have seen them win rounds like this before, but can they do it here? There'll be 1 rifle, make it 2 with the FAMAS, 4 mousesports here. Oscar on the M4A1S as they obtain banana control. Sunny and Chris J looking to assert their dominance there. Might be flashing through Chris. You can see him in the top left of your screen right now. But it will be the flash attack towards A. Flashes and smokes go over. And this great position from Robs. I thought they'd get more than 1, but they still have the man advantage for now. But can the bomb be planted here? Accurate, a very common position. It's probably going to be checked by Chris here. Oh, it doesn't matter. That CZ will outduel the M4. And the bomb has been planted, and we have a round on our hands.
Absolutely do. Gun as well for AE with head armor to go along with it. Accompany his assault. It's immediately a pushback as well. Oscar takes advantage of the fact that they pushed so far toward the Arch, however. So the fact that Sticko got removed from the play just invited him in. Sunny also adds to it. Accurate goes down. Somebody has to hold off the bomb that is continuing to tick, that is inside of the site around the corner, both with kits. This is done. This absolutely goes the way, whether that kill happened in reverse or not, to mousesports, because there was a second on the clock when it happened either way.
Indeed. Good call by Sunny there. Gets the information as to where the remaining player was. Sure, the bomb goes down and comes down to the 2 versus 1, but they won't be buying this round, so you're absolutely fine. Can take a bit of a sigh of relief here. There should be a bit of a partial purchase from TyLoo there. Maybe get some PT50s, some Deagles perhaps. We'll see whether they like to invest quite heavily into this one or quite lightly. We'll see. There are 3 Deagles, 1 PT50, and no armor, no nades, of course. So it should be a 3-0 start for mousesports unless something absolutely unbelievable happens with this first shot. Nade down at the beginning. Does connect with DD. Just 20 points, so CTs don't have to hunt for the frags here. The MP7 up close with that smoke down, that's fine. Chris J, you'll see him using the MP7 more than the rifle on this particular map, so go figure as he holds towards the bottom of Banana. CTs will just be trying to bait in Chris at the top with Sunny at the barrels, and we'll see whether they can get this first kill.
Maybe desperate to find a shot with a deagle. Couldn't quite get Chris J. Shot on either side of him as he retreated back up Banana, upstream. Now boost Sunny on the half wall with the M4, 2-0 for mousesports. But not so easily in the last round. It does limit TyLoo. You'll be pleased, I'm sure, Henry, not to see armor on the board.
Indeed. Keep the money strong. 5 versus 4 for now. It should just be a matter of formality at this point as to when mousesports do convert this round. They're trying to find any sort of picks they can. They need to be careful they don't die after the timer, of course, so you'll see them making the move in the next 10 seconds or so. There's a flash from Chris J, knowing he's got plenty of meaty targets in front of him. He's farming $600 per kill with that MP7. It's got a faster rate of fire than the UMP and is more versatile while running and gunning. I'm not sure why it's not as popular. I guess it's a bit more expensive. This weapon is $1,700 instead of $1,200 like the UMP. But it definitely is a lot of fun to use, and it's going to be Sunny to finish things off there. But there we go, just salvaging any weapons he can on the floor. 3-0, bit of a bonus round with the MP7 and the FAMAS coming in. They'll purchase up the utility. Money's not as strong as you would like from mousesports because they lost a few players in those conversion rounds, but here's Sunny on the half wall, getting it done. Him and Chris J will have a lot of fun this game, I'm feeling. But Acura gets the AWP out first gun run out, no armor. That's quite a rare move. We normally talk about the AWP being quite situational on Inferno T side. Only a few players can really make it work, but no AWP for Oscar just yet. Chris J's got a hell of a run boost here. He'll probably go with this. Okay, maybe not. I thought he was going to take it all day long and just have a go, but he'll hold up by the sandbags for now. And remember, Acura no armor. He's very vulnerable to grenades. As the flashbang comes in, Chris J is dealt with.
Dealt with by Bintet. Slow game on Train. You pointed out toward the end when the scoreboard was on screen, and that came off the back of Yanko finishing saying on the previous analyst segment, not the one before this map, but the last, that he was the most skilled player in the server, at least as of late. So important that he has a good start to this game to make amends with that, and getting the opening kill on the first gun round certainly helps TyLoo in doing so. MP7 still for somebody. And as set, she's gone all the way up the hallway in apartments to get closer to the A site. The A site, which is not entirely vacant in terms of that side of the map, but the site itself is, because they're playing at Arch, and now wrapping back to Library is ROPS, only with the FAMAS. I say only. It's still a rifle, still powerful at range, but not an AWP, not an M4. And they're going to strengthen that A hold by rotating over Oscar as well. That leaves B with just Sunny. 38 seconds, and TyLoo slowly accumulates themselves within Banana. The set, or positioning of the three players already there, the setup of them does suggest set piece and a hard hit. Sunny's gone slightly inside from CT connector. That means he'll be forward of utility, but only for one shot. Accurate takes him down immediately on the trade, and that it will do. That is enough. It gives them the 4-3 advantage. It gives them a smoke at CT and the bomb to be planted. Sticko desperate to spray through. No silencer on the M4, which not so much important for the sound, but the fact that the Tracer's visible. He can't overstay his welcome on the angle, has to work off of it and goes toward construction, or Chapel instead.
I'd be considering a save already at this point. 4 versus 3, you haven't really got much utility to flush them out. They'll give it a little go. That grenade will do some damage towards the new boxes, but Bentet not going to peek just yet. Very well set up. CTs might want to fall back at this point, but an AWP shot does rattle off, accurate low, and it will be the CTs to be dropped like flies. So not really much done there for the CTs. I feel like the fact they had no utility at all, that was probably quite an easy call just to fall back. But money's still fine. 3-1, TyLoo posted their first round. It was a bit of a bonus situation with no AWP in the first gun round for mousesports, at the MP7, the FAMAS, trying to get that first pick towards B, but Chris J was taken down. The opening pick comes in for TyLoo. They hold up, wait for the reactions to come through. You're normally waiting about 30 seconds. And then at that point, if nothing comes in, coordinate yourselves towards B, full execution. You've got the man advantage. You should win the round, which they did. Handle it very well. But the double AWP setup comes out for the first time for Chris J and Oscar here. Oscar, I'm sure he'll be salivating at the prospect of challenging these guys actively. Chris J went for it as well, but actually stood in the flames for a little bit too long. Under 39 HP as they obtain banana control once again.
Bentet works his way into the position that AE previously occupied, closer to the B side. He'll hold Banana alone. Don't want to give it up, don't want to give away control, so a four-man approach to A to try and open up some map control on that side now. Sticko gets up underneath of the atrium. He'll hold with the support of his teammate in Rops. So the SMG gets closer. Rops can't do much, has to fall off the high angle. He was up on the windowsill, still not taken down, needs to get around the corner, just barely does. In fact, throws a desperate nade in case they try and chase him down. Somebody elected to do so, but didn't go far enough to take much damage from the nade. In fact, down to just 93. But it's pressure to the A side, and somebody with the angle takes out Oscar. That's going to allow them to work in, but Sonny goes very wide indeed off of the site directly and below the graveyard. He'll find a shot in return, and a 4-on-3 with Bong going back around with a rotation and a wrap from Bentet that went through Arch. Brilliantly done from TyLoo.
Yeah, Chris J did not see that one coming whatsoever. There it is. It will be another round for TyLoo, and they definitely have to save this time. Robs grabs the AWP, and TyLoo looking much more competitive already on Inferno. Train was a little bit of a damp squib overall, but this is looking good. 4 players survive. They've got a double orb set on the T side. Not conventional, but they'll give it a go. It's going to be AE and Accurate to save those weapons, and Sunny trying to hold on to the AK. With 2 weapons saved for mousesports, they probably force up around the AWP, especially with the AK in Sunny's hands as well. That's if both of them survive. There's a chance they won't. That shot should be connecting. Rob's not known to be an AWPer. Does miss it, and he'll be punished by Didi there. Sunny just to save the AK now. Probably try and grab the AWP if possible, but that looks very unlikely. He's got to hit absolutely everything at this point. And Bentet will try and take him down and do so successfully. Has to be the eco now for mousesports. Maybe even the force buy, we'll see. They have lost 2 in a row. They're going to get $2,400 next round, so I'd say they'll take maybe P250s in a couple of cases, but overall full eco should be happening here.
So 3-2 TyLoo, and as you say, the full eco necessary. It's not quite full. There's a deagle.
There's a deagle.
It's full enough. There's no armor, there's no utility.
And it'll be a 5-man stack towards B, and that's where TyLoo have been showing most of their promise. So maybe this could be an amazing call. They had P250s or CZs, I'd say there's even a chance they could win it. But even with the USBs, even if a few TyLoo players come in, they probably still find the kills.
Bit slower. TyLoo this time, and they're all accumulating toward B, which it's a bit curious and somewhat worrying given the stack inside of the B site. Bombs even heading that direction now as well. Before on the gun rounds and previously they've been sending one to get the control of Banana and then rotating back to A and opening up the map to their advantage, causing rotations. It's been quite textbook. This time they are going to make contact. 2 men spotted, 2 men down. Bentet with both kills. Accurate takes Sunny, so stack doesn't matter. They go in systematically enough and cover off each other's angles that it all works out. Oscar last to be found. He's certainly found and spotted. AE takes him down. Bentet coming alive. He's gotten quite a few kills already this game. In fact, just press that again, Henry. 6. So he had 7 last game toward the end. I don't know if that's where he finished, but he's almost to that total now.
You're absolutely right, and you can see TyLoo, as I mentioned, even if they go towards B against that 5-man stack, they probably still win anyway. Nice methodical take. They get all the Molotovs down, the smokes, the flashbangs, and Bentet sets them up, knocks them down, and it will be 3-3. We're all tied up here, and I like this from somebody. He actually gets the Mac 10 out. He can afford a lot more than that, but he knows the money's real weak for mousesports right now. It's likely they probably don't even have helmets right now, and he'd be absolutely right. 5 of those players without anything on their heads means that Mac 10 is basically a run-and-gun railgun at this point, I guess. It's just going to have so much one-tap potential if you can just get into these tight corners like Sticko's towards, and he's going to have players walking right by him in those apartments right now. They're actually going for a faster approach. You see 4 towards A. We normally call this the flash attack. You have 4 in towards the apartments. You flash over from that chimney. You have a smoke towards library. And then it's the flashbang. And in they go. The Mac 10 doing exactly what I said it would. That one-tap potential as it takes down Sticko. It's 3-on-3, but this looks like another TyLoo round all day long. They've traded out efficiently, got the man advantage, and they're going to get that bomb down.
So I need to rotate from the mid wall with Chris coming through library. Baits a shot from somebody, but that gives him away. Smokes himself off and retreats to the arch. At least somebody's been quite clever about this, though. He's going to pursue. AWP in hand. Knows that Chris is vacated library. Does he spot him in CT? He absolutely does. Didn't scope in until he had to because he was expecting that he would have to react. And does a great job of it.
Really like that approach. As I mentioned, that MAC-10, throw it in first, see what happens. Actually gets the first kill. Sticko having a really rough time. 0 and 4 for him right now. He's holding towards the quad. They smoke library, flash over twice towards the A-bomb site. And as those flashes are going off, like the second they pop and the CTs presumably are either turning away from them or flashed, that's when the MAC-10 jumps out. It's not focusing towards the site or the pit. It's actually jumping out, focusing on the quad, hoping to catch a player completely off guard. It's exactly what happened. Hits him in the head of the MAC-10. He goes down straight away, and it causes so much confusion and chaos on the A site. It means the other players can get out, catch CTs in transition, hit their shots, and as long as they just trade at that point of the man advantage, as long as they just go 1 for 1, they're absolutely fine. That's exactly what happened. You can see mousesports feeling the pressure now. This is not looking too good for them. TyLoo have looked like the more convincing squad after the gun rounds have began. And money's not actually looking too great at all. So, that previous round, Sunny saves an M4. 4 of them might have to eco here. They're all hovering around $3,000. So maybe just some nades, PT50s, and see whether Sunny with the M4 can make something happen here. It's a CZ for Sticko. That's about as exciting as it gets. Rops as a Deagle. But they do have 3 HE grenades. You normally throw this down towards B, of course, or down towards the bottom of the middle.
Chris is already backing off the top side of Banana. DD. Quick check of the top stairs inside of the apartments in case anyone was pushed up. No one there. Covering all the bases. And a stack yet again from mousesports. This time, not as intrusive or perhaps, or obtrusive, I should say. That's an obstacle they have to overcome. As it was when it was in B with close angles to cover off, but certainly it favors the A side. Sticko isn't fully convinced that he's required to rotate as of yet. M4 spotted, located, and they know there's the one on the map. They know where it was, not where it is. It can quickly rotate off that position, but it certainly encourages them for now to put some pressure back onto Banana, or at least hold it with AE. This must perhaps serve as bait for rotation as well, and that has worked to get the M4 in that position. Not too uncommon that you spot the one gun. And just as you'd think, well, it's at A, let's rotate to B, it does the same. So TyLoo doesn't want to overcommit either direction.
Well, they'll be walking very slowly together towards the arch. Smokes go down. This is looking great from TyLoo. Fundamentals have been there. That's something we complimented them on yesterday. The fundamentals look fantastic. We didn't really see that on train, understandably so. But this is looking much better. They say that it all starts to fall apart. 4 versus 2 now as the strike comes in from Sunny. He's got that single M4. He comes in from the arch, and all of a sudden it goes very wrong indeed.
Yeah, no sooner do you praise them.
I was like, this is looking so good. They're going together. There's no chance of being taken down. It's the Deagle to CZ.
Credit to Rops as well, striking while the iron was hot, so to speak.
Yes.
Gun not ready, takes the AK. That gives them a second rifle. Positioning inside the site works to their advantage, and suddenly Sunny shows up with the previous held rifle, the M4, and it's 4-4. So a round, ultimately, you could argue, given away by TyLoo. They were a little bit slow and hesitant, I dare say.
4-4. Round 9, and it's mousesports bouncing back after winning what was pretty much a full eco. They saved an M4, that was it. So Sticko finds his first kill as well. He's 1 and 5 now, as we'll see Chris J challenging towards the B area once again. So the AWP's out for AE this time, so they're mixing things up. It's not going to be accurate on the primary for now, at least. Chris J can be left alone at the B-bomb site once he's established towards the barrels, but the flashbang comes in. Oh my god, he's always so good at those sort of kills. Times to perfection. If you ever blind an AWP, you have to wait for that shot to come out. You can see what can happen. If they time it well, you're going to be absolutely destroyed. 5 versus 4. He took a gamble and one that did not pay off for him. Round 9. And mousesports don't really need to react and keep 4 players towards A at this point. Somebody waiting in the apartments, and DD will be towards the boiler room. He still had the majority of the utility, but mousesports still with a bucket load as well. Oscar deploying the incendiary, and that's a brave move by somebody out. He goes by himself, and he'll be dealt with accordingly. Robs takes him down.
Accurate. Back down to the bottom side of middle, and they look toward Banana this time. Confronted by an AWP, smartly flashed off. Chris has to fall away. One of the only rounds, based on the fact that they're so far were so greatly disadvantaged being in a 5-on-3 that they haven't had banana control while evaluating on the other side of the map, so they have to retake it. Retake it is tough. What a snap, what a transfer from Sunny to get the second headshot on Bentet. We go 5-4. mousesports take the lead with 2 rounds back-to-back, and money's decent on both sides, but it's starting to, I guess if you want to look at it from a TyLoo perspective, get whittled away.
Yeah, it's dwindling, that's for sure. They have maybe one more decent buy left. It won't be ideal. I think there'll be a couple of compromises. Somebody goes to the MAC-10 again. It worked out before, but this time all 5 players have a helmet, so it won't be as effective as we described in the previous round. There's Sunny getting it done with that AK. Double orb setups out again, so it was looking very good for TyLoo, but this could all fall on his head if they lose this next round, because they'll be down to a full eco, I'd imagine. AE still has a bit of cash, but we'll see what they can do here. Round number 10. It's been quite a quick first half. Somebody in the apartments right now, smoked off, but this looks like the exact same strategy they tried before, Matt. Smoke towards library, send 4 players out, MAC-10. If we could stay on him, I'd love that, because we can focus on the point that he goes towards that quad position. I'll watch it myself. There we go.
Rops still on balcony, Sticko Pit, Oscar Library. All points covered from a passive approach.
So they're waiting for that smoke to go out in the apartments. That will be their cue for the flash to go in. Here it comes.
Flash goes, Rops already hits one, falls off it, and fully blind is Sticko. Rops as well, they're both blinded in Pit. Sticko may get his vision back just in time, but he was still blinded when the kill from DD came in on his teammate, didn't know that he was there, wouldn't have seen the information fast enough for the obituary to get the information. Perhaps the sound still deafening. Oversteps the mark, and DD's done very well. 3 kills on entry. It's still a 2 versus 2, but bomb goes down. Molotov thrown toward Arch. They may not know Sunny's this close. That suggests to me they think this rotation's further away than it really is.
Well, there it is. Chris J with the AWP looking for anything he can. He'll be by Sunny right now. They don't have the smoke to kind of protect themselves from the pit. They're being very tentative right now. They can probably guarantee the player is there at this point. Why they swap over at that point, I don't know. That's incredibly scary. But it will be the 1 versus 1 now. Chris J comes out on top. Has not got a kit for this on the floor. So he's absolutely fine. If he didn't, he probably doesn't win that round. So
definitely not. Nope, that would have been detonated, certainly. And he identified that to pick up the kit. Obviously, they swapped because of the HP, but you're right. That's a really awkward position to do it.
If he pings that time, you are absolutely done for. I really thought this tactic was sick, though. Do you see how blind these guys were in the pit? Everyone was destroyed by it. And they traded out effectively again. If you get a plant down in a 2 versus 2, that's a successful strategy in my book, especially on the T side. On that bomb site, that's great. And MAC-10 wasn't as effective. Rob's changed his position this time. It wasn't so completely destroyed by the flashbangs, but still, scary round for mousesports. Lucky to win that one, I would say. No overhead for TyLoo. You can see they're once again coming towards the end of their cash. Somebody with no grenades whatsoever. You can see with that information that the CT's a bit braver to face towards the T-steps, knowing there's probably not an AWP on the other side. Great utility at the start, though. AE down to 5 HP. Sunny behind the smoke, trying to see if he can get this first pick.
AE boosted back up on top of the half wall. Looking to try and make, despite the low HP, a kill toward the top of Banana with the AK. Has to be very wary of a nade coming out from that direction, but in the meantime, back over toward A. As we've seen, this seems to be the default. Put pressure on B, establish a presence, rotate back to A, see what you can sort in that position. They've caused a lead, not a full rotation, but at least a cheat from Sunny to go back towards CT spawn. He's re-arrived or repositioned himself back towards CT connector on B. And without getting much information this time on A, that's looking to be the destination. More of a straight-up brawl this time for TyLoo than the 2 previous games that were successful. Timing is everything. Sunny, smoke in his hand, gets taken down, but they've not spotted Chris toward Emo. Gets the second shot back in the smoke, and it's Sticko that has the bomb. It's been flung forward, and it is behind a smoke that was deployed by TyLoo. So their own utility, now their enemy, as they have to try and work through both smokes. In fact, CT as well. Bentet's desperate, 20 seconds
to really work with. Has to make something happen. It's all down to Bentet, and he's making it work so far. 10 seconds remaining, though. I think it's too much of a tall order, and it will be the final kill for Oscar. Great approach, though. You can see that was looking so good for TyLoo. I think they were very unlucky the bomb to go down the way it did, but maybe a bit careless as well to even try and push that smoke.
I think, and just on a smaller facet rather than the overarching strategy, Bentet gets that first kill by getting in a position they weren't expecting him in. just because he's spotted and gets one kill doesn't mean everyone's ready to strike. I think if he had a swung immediately to CT, he might have gotten that second kill. I think
so
the Flash was overthinking it a little bit. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think when he's the little amount of time you've got as well, you need to just make something happen quickly, right? Snappy. That could have been a perfect call, but unfortunately, not going to happen. There will be another buy available somehow as the loss bonus accumulates. They're at 4th stage right now. 3 AKs, we can see that it's not looking good though. They've got a UMP and a MAC-10. After getting 4 rounds in a row, they have dropped off somewhat. 7-4, the overall scoreline. They go for the B execution. What I can see, the bomb. Just checking the bottom there. It's going to be accurate to flash them in towards the top. They'll be throwing that right now. Wait for it. There it is. It's gone. And now, presumably this smoke CT spawn. They've only got 1 smoke remaining though. That's a bit of an issue because they either smoke spawn or coffins. Presumably spawn. You have to smoke spawn. How do they deal with Chris J? He's gone for the smoke instead. Maybe he'll play himself.
Molotovs to Orange's 1, Orange's 2, but Orange's 2 actually lands on top of the boxes and not in the cubby. Are they going to expect Sunny? They're going to think this is cleared. They go in, back turn. Sunny easily disposes of 2 before they realize their mistake. Their blunder, as you would say, Henry. And it comes, surprisingly, still to Bintet and Didi to bring it to a 2 versus 1 against just Oscar. AWP bomb is open enough that that op is menacing, but they get to it before he's aware of the fact.
Yeah, he might be considering they've gone back towards A, but he hears the plan at this point. Can't pick up the rifle because they hear him coming. Not even hear him scope as well. This is going to be the kill, and it's going to be Didi getting it. So, TyLoo recover.
That's it.
Really
that's
chaotic round.
I was going to say recover. That's an individual effort from Didi to make it happen because they missed the Molotov. They got caught on entry, and somehow he gets away wide side of the smoke to get 2 kills in return and then follow it up.
Yeah, I don't think it came from, well, Chris J almost panicking a bit too much there, trying to get the smoke down as they finally committed. If he just had his rifle out there, probably good for 1 kill, hide in, but he was anticipating maybe more flashbangs, more utility towards him, and he fumbled the smoke, actually gave them more cover. Got very chaotic very quickly, but it will be mousesports with another buy here. Not a great one, but they get the AWP out. As TyLoo still around back. 7-5 now, round number 13. Grenade actually doing a lot less damage than I thought it would. AE looks like he took it on the head, but only 6 damage inflicted. Smoke down again, and now they're trying to segregate the T's, and as they drop, oh, that would have been so perfect. Chris J's down 4 now. Maybe not. Okay. Didn't even take any damage somehow, Matt. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah, me neither.
It looked like he was just definitely dead. But man advantage, and Sunny lucky to be alive as he'll take the aggro for Chris. Surely they trade this one out now. They know exactly where he is.
Yeah, you say that. The man seemingly invincible. The nade still can't get him. He's on 16 HP. He's confronted 3 different opponents at this point in time. Finally, Didi steps in to get him down. Remember, Sunny is low. Unfortunately, that smoke is discouraging enough that they won't be able to capitalize, nor do they know exactly where he has gone. If they were, my point on the timing, able to get that kill on him, it would have opened the B side up and given them a real chance. There's still a man down. Smoke out, but Sunny's got great position on an MP9 read by Didi. Just spotted a fraction of him. And unfortunately, smokes are not walls. They are penetrable. Somebody follows it up as well. So another plant. TyLoo is getting into the B site.
Yep, they really are. It was looking so good. Chris J, those first couple of frags, he thought that would be enough. But as soon as he went down, Sunny had to at least post 1, but he couldn't do it. Oscar burns in the flames, and Sticko at least is looking for some kills here. I'm not sure what the overall idea is. He's just going to look for some exit frags and try and make the round as expensive as possible. He's definitely not going for the win. He hasn't got a kit. And his teammates on the other side of the map. Just trying to keep everyone on the bomb site, but actually just gets himself killed. And Didi farms another $300 there, and will live to tell the tale as he gets his 3rd kill of the round. He's did a great job. He currently sits on 14 and 9, top fragging. It's actually accurate at the very bottom. It's been fantastic for the squad so far. It's 3 and 9. The top of mousesports, it's Sunny, of course, with 13 kills. The bottom is Sticko, 2 and 9. Really can't get going on Inferno so far. And once again, I think maybe he's just trying to pad stats at that point towards the ruins because he's done 2 kills. No real reason to be there. They've got plenty of money on the T side, but there we go. Round 14 should be the eco. I do see a Nova shotgun coming out though. So a partial buy. Oscar has gone all in. He's the AWP, and he spent around $2 grand on a shotgun and armor. Bold strategy. See if it works out for him. No. It really didn't.
So AE takes out Oscar. Started off. Bintet. Look at the damage P250 from range. Bintet's on 1, AE's on 19. That would have been incredible if he had gotten both kills. More so because Rops, that's a smoke, not a nade, my goodness. My heart sunk for a moment in fear of what would happen to TyLoo if that was a nade with both AE and Bintet close by. But you're right, that's the bomb thrown forward. Rops takes down a high HP player. 2 of them are low enough. This can absolutely work for mousesports. More so because somebody's now dinked to 17. Wouldn't be the first round they've lost to a single gun carried over. Sunny takes out, AE.
And 1 HP for Bintet. He can see the bomb. It's so tantalizingly close, but he can't really do much about it. If he can get 1 kill out of this, that'd be great. He has been spotted though. Rops will drop him. And DD, who's been so good so far, the top performer for TyLoo, left in a really awkward spot. Sure, they don't have armor, but they have got an AWP, a shotgun, and an M4. He has been tagged up a little bit. He's going to try and steal that bomb and run towards B. That would be the play. He might just do it, but Rops is there waiting. And mousesports, you're absolutely right, do it once again. With 1 rifle, a shotgun, and some pistols, they managed to win the round.
Bintet got baited by the fact that they shot the gun across the front of the door at Boiler to, I'm not sure who was under the quad position, but he saw the gun get shot, knew one of them had to have been close and didn't have the rifle yet, tried to peek, and then the player who shot it actually was still watching. So
indeed,
caught him out, and both of us mentioned that second round this half they've lost to lesser weaponry. It's their turn to try the same. Round 15, last of the half. 8-6 is a reasonable scoreline for TyLoo.
I've actually been impressed with some of their tactics. I think that one they're doing from the apartments is really cool. The amount of flashbangs they use is pretty staggering. And it will be a B finish by the looks of things here. D4 hasn't been run at the start. You see nothing towards second middle, or indeed mid in general. So this suggests there'll be another execution. Their execution has been actually pretty great. And it's a perfect time to call it when your money's like in an okay spot. You've got enough of the utility armor, CZs, a couple of rifles. You want to go for these full executions, send the pistols in first, see if you can at least find a couple of trades. And the B-side's been weak so far, I would say, overall. Christian and Sunny, normally so strong in this part of the map, have looked a little bit uncomfortable. And as Sunny boosted up, trying to avoid the flashbangs, Christian trying to avoid the flames. They can't avoid either, but Christian hits the first shot, gets a double, just trying to set his teammate up. The bomb's down, that should be round at this point, but Sunny could miss some shots here. Christian gets his third, but still a 3 versus 2. This is now possible for TyLoo.
Possible indeed. Bintet with bomb, 11 HP, has to desperately put this down just on the edge of the radius, or the, I suppose I shouldn't say radius, but the area in which he's able to plant. Oscar's capitalized immediately after, however, and somebody left against 3 and traded immediately. We go 9-6 at half in favor of mousesports, so second straight game they've had the lead at half. This one's not quite so safe, or as safe. Coming off the CT side.
No, it wasn't the strong performance of mousesports I was expecting there. A couple of players completely missing. Sticko, 3 and 9, was really struggling towards that quad position. We saw him, once he got bullied by that Mac-10, kind of seemed to drop off into obscurity at that point. Lovely tactics from TyLoo. Actually quite impressed considering they have a stand-in. Some of the executions are really on point, like the amount of Molotovs and smokes used towards B, and those flashbangs, I think, was the most impressive thing for me. That apartment execution with all the flashes going in. 2 players completely destroyed for about 6 seconds, I think, by flashbangs. That was really cool from TyLoo. Kind of a strategy I think we'll see a few EE teams pick up, perhaps, because I haven't really seen that sort of devastating effect before with the flashes. But here we go, a very important pistol. If TyLoo can do this, they have a chance of taking us to a 3rd map. If mousesports pick it up, though, I would say it'd be pretty smooth sailing. But we'll see as Oscar makes his way towards B. Accurate faces second middle. In terms of the utility, it will be a smoke grenade available for AE. But just as I say that, there is a nice opening pick. Oscar dropped at the aforementioned banana area.
So already a reconsideration of positioning from TyLoo. They'll stay toward A. They'll go a lot more passive in doing so. Meanwhile, mousesports, all but 1 of the remaining players, I should say, all but 2 if you include Oscar, toward Banana. And Sticko will join them as well. So Bintet pressure on. He needs to hit, I would say, 1 and fade off of this to try and bait them all the way toward the site where somebody waits. Problem is he has to stay relevant in the time that he's baiting. He can't just fade away, and unfortunately going down lots of time in which they'd be able to respond and react or check where somebody is, but a missed shot.
Massive
Sunny
miss.
and Sticko, and yeah, this goes 10, surely.
Well, if I said Bento was alive, maybe there's a chance, but now AE left in the 4 versus 1. It was looking great with that opening kill as well, but it all falls apart. He has got the kid in the smoke, but I don't think he'll even get a chance to show us how he could defuse the bomb. He'll make his way in. There's a kill on Chris J at least. He could make something of this. You never know. Bring it down to a little bit more of a viable proposition as he makes his way towards B. Looking for Sunny. Not going to find him though. Great shot by him. And it will be 10-6. And the CTs will be left with a 4 spy here in the second round. I can almost guarantee they'll do that unless you've got a massive lead. You probably do want to experiment the idea of 4 spying. Get the CZs out at least. We'll see what they go for. There's the CZs. And the armor, indeed, they will be going for it. It'll just be accurate, imagine, who doesn't get the AWP. Sorry, doesn't get the full investment due to wanting the AWP, say story for AE. So flashbangs, and they've got 3 smokes. So playing for tactics instead of the kills, trying to hold mousesports off as long as possible, funnel them into the direction they want. In terms of a stack, 3 players towards B, 2 at the arch side. So focusing on the top half of that map. Said sports have been looking quite ropey on their anti-eco rounds, but Oscar sets them up quite nicely with that opening pick.
So DD still facing directly into the wall, hoping that they won't spot him, and if they flash, obviously that's the reason he's staring at the wall, he won't be blinded. Smoke to protect him. His teammates have arrived. He'll know Oscar's already gone by. Where's the response? He waits for Sticko instead, finds it, goes for the long shot, and Oscar taps away, sees that at that range. Finally, something that it's ineffective at. As Oscar gets the shot in return, he'll go sneaking toward the arch and reads where Bintet arrives. We find yet another round for mousesports, 11-6 on the T side, and one further round in which they will not have weapons, or at least equal weaponry against them.
Well, there we go. Should be the full eco, indeed. One of those rounds where... Oh, here we go. We've already called it out. Give the guy a break.
I think we're probably using the double observer again, though, right? So
that's right. They can't.
The Russian commentators might be speaking about it now.
That's exactly true. I'm being a little bit silly, but
so selfish.
It's that's exactly what's happening. We are second fiddle to the arena. We don't get our voices bellowed through for once. We kind of have to wait in the doldrums, but it keeps us modest, you know. Sometimes the egos get a little bit too big, but for now, TyLoo holding up. Was accurate. They got tagged up, and he was one of the players that the guys were highlighting. 3 and 13, stick at the bottom 4 and 10. So it's the race to the bottom between those two. Sunny will be opening things up with the Mac 10. Great news for his team in terms of cash, and that's with the Beast bombs completely open. In fact, so they can just make their way in and win the round. 12-6.
So Oscar with the opener. Rather, I shouldn't say the opener. It's Sunny to beat him to it, but somebody waits. Trying again to bait. Any kill will do. Any gun carried over would be beneficial. Not when it's a Mac 10. I'm sure they would have rather that had been an M4. Doesn't get a kill anyway. To be fair, and I say M4. Galil! I'll get things in line eventually. 12-6. They've doubled the score. And have 4 to find, but TyLoo's defense starts now, and just as they've done every time they've lost a pistol on the CT side, first gun round, double op.
Yeah, they did that on train as well, and it's an interesting stance. And most teams will build up to the double AWP, just because you can see they're really going to struggle for a lot of things here. AE with no armor, but he's going to smoke at a flashbang, and Accurate with almost no grenades whatsoever. They've got 1 kit, and if they don't win this round, that could potentially be GG's. It'll be 36
What was the opening map in their series yesterday against Na'Vi?
It was, they played Mirage.
Mirage.
Second.
They did
was it Mirage second?
Mirage first and Overpass second.
That's right. Yeah.
They did it on Mirage as well because they lost the opening pistol on that map. So
That's
3
right.
out of 4 times, and the only time they didn't was obviously when they won the pistol. So something to read into if you're the opposition of TyLoo, to just naturally expect this AWP setup on the CT side. Shot by Accurate. A little bit too easy with his name, but wasn't accurate at all. As Chris J and Sunny start to take position inside of Banana. Slower approach naturally as they go against the rifles. They want to sort where they are in the positioning of TyLoo. So mousesports just finally established territory. They'll, similar to TyLoo, go back and evaluate A instead and leave 1 player behind. This time it's Sunny. Blinded by the light. DD gets taken down. Double peek. Christian Thicko, well played. Don't even have to trade off each other. They'll combine for the kill straight up and take the advantage in the round. Both ops still survive, but they're losing a lot of the distance. And giving positional control that could lead to execution in mousesports, meaning that it would be chaotic, frantic, and desperate for the AWPs to hit shots. Not only that, Accurate's given up his position and wants to go toward A early. It's the wrong call. This is a perfect sell for mousesports. Rops gets taken down, and with no further action on A, Accurate's realized it, but misses a crucial shot. It would have dropped the bomb. There was still a second player inside of the site, mind you, and at that velocity, the bomb likely would have gone out of his vision, but it would have slowed down the plant and given his team time to react. Man advantage nonetheless.
Definitely, but maybe not the advantage generally. As you can see, Sonny does speed the barrel. He's going to make great work of it. As now the 3 versus 3, but Oscar looks so poised to win this round single-handedly. Not going to happen, though. 2 versus 1. At A, he couldn't have a worse weapon for the job, Matt. AWP and the bomb just ticking away. He'll have to fall back, and I don't think he'll even survive this. They know exactly where he is, and he might be able to get a shot on Sonny. Very fast, but it's not going to work out for him. And like I said, if they lose that round, that could be the game, because now they're 13-6 down, and there's no money. That is a massive problem. So you have a force here. The Deagles and the CZ take a huge gamble. You roll those dice and hope for a 6, but you could come up with a 1. That could be GG. What do you do, Matt?
I was trying to think of how that related to Yahtzee, but you were just using a single die.
Exactly.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, they've done it every single round, or every single half, as we mentioned. Obviously, they buy again in the next with the maximum loss bonus. I don't know. They're on 4. If they were on 14 already, they're on 13. They're looking for 14. If they were on 14, I think I'd have a different opinion on it, but tough call. I think TyLoo's probably in the right to try and build 4 guns again.
This is about as good as it can get. You do a partial buy of the CZs and stuff, you might be able to steal the round away. You never know. But if you force buy here, I think that was a death sentence. So this is giving them a fighting chance to win the round, but it doesn't completely ruin them. They might have to do something a little bit creative here. Bente with some high-flying antics with the CZ there. Sonny, he shouldn't be part of this fight anymore, I would say. Like, you're by yourself. You've already given up 1 AK. Just protect it. You don't have to overcommit. His teammates come to back him up. That's good news. So they'll throw the grenades in. Should be a kill now. Sonny will take that. Did they steal the rifle away? They did not. So they're still stuck on those pistols. You could probably fall back towards the A side at this point, knowing that you've pulled a lot of attention over here. Drop the smoke in. They will commit by the looks of things. 3 versus 4. mousesports looking at that 14th round. There are 2 players on the other side. That's going to be Accurate with the USP and AE with P250. Both without armor, both without nades. Almost impossible for them to get more than maybe 1, 2 kills at the stretch. It all comes down to this position for Accurate. If he can take enough attention away for AE to run through the smoke, that would be enough as he runs through. Doesn't do any damage. And Sonny can see him in the fountain. Sonny?
He actually didn't. Sonny just thought that was part of the statue.
Yeah.
Rops, that's... I'm going to go back to that. Oscar just waiting for the rotation of DD. That'll be the last player. Pistols. That's pretty clever because he looks like part of the statue. Now, anyone who knows the map, it's kind of like the light missing on the truck on Cash. You don't quite see. There's an amazing play I saw in PUBG where someone ran into the chapel at Graveyard on Miramar and posed by holding a grenade. And in holding the grenade up, looked like they were part of the statue. The guy ran right by and then killed him. That's what it reminded me of. Well, the thing I'm going to look more behind the science of it. Sure. He uses, I just looked at his resolution, he uses 1024. A lot of the younger players will use 1080p, 1920 by 1080. And if you're 1024, that kind of position, it's really pixelated and squash game, right? So you comes in there, he might not necessarily see that kind of blended in character. If you're using like the native res, like a lot of the younger guys, like Ropswell example, then you probably do see him quite clearly. It's because he's using that real squashed res, and a lot of people will say like, you get bigger models, it feels more comfortable, it feels smoother. I get that, but I hate the fact knowing that like you might miss out some certain details. Yeah, like that drives me nuts too. Yeah. So I don't think there's any like actual advantage, just the way it feels, quote unquote. You know, there's no real method behind it, but it just feels better. 14-6. TyLoo got a lot of work to do, yeah. And it will be a double up setup again. They really are trying to force that out, aren't they? So they do have to sacrifice a lot, but they are getting kills at the start. Sonny will be dropped. TyLoo needs to play a pretty much perfect game at this point to avoid the 2-0. Tag out heavily to Accurate. They got the kill on Sunny. Robs. Fractional damage, in fact. Does a fantastic job of putting DD down to 12 HP. Need to follow up. Rob still with 46. It's more than enough with an AK on entry. Entry that won't come for a bit more time. Granted, the smoke down, and also that they're at the bottom of middle again with bomb. Now, they're a little bit cautious and probably cognizant of the fact that there's a presence in Banana. They don't have one themselves. And it's a deep presence from somebody. They're trying to bait it out. They check it, they read it, but they can't get the kill immediately. Sticko trades. Almost looked like somebody was going to position himself with a wide peak, or wide adjustment, I should say, to get the kill. It may not matter in the end for mousesports because TyLoo are adding up the totals, and it's down to a 1 versus 4 for Rops.
Certainly is. At this point, his objective is just to cause as much damage as possible to the finances. 1 or 2 kills would actually be very beneficial to his squad. We'll see. They're currently up 5-0 here. Still 14 seconds, though. Can't actually do much with it at all. So we'll just pick up the AWP and fall back. So very good stuff. It would be Accurate actually posting something positive at the first time in a long time. As we'll see him managing to get his first kill in quite a while. That's actually, I think, his first kill of the half, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. We'll get into round number 22. It was. He got those 2 kills in round number 21. He's posted a bit of a duck since then. So either way, we'll get into the double AWP setup once again for TyLoo. First shot though, Oscar. You're going to be brave to face him straight down the T-steps against him.
I was going to say T-side up for Oscar because we know that not everyone's capable. He certainly is. Chris has already made it into the nook at the bottom of Banana and takes advantage of it. Somebody goes down, Accurate responds, but Chris follows up. A trade again, Accurate with 2, but still, including the Oscar kill at the start, that was not part of that sequence. It's the advantage for mousesports. Rops will try and add to that as well. Brilliantly executed, well-placed crosshair. Takes the head clean off of DD, and Accurate needs an ace to make a case. 1 versus 3. He may as well go for this. I know saving the AWP is probably the smarter play, but it's going to be map point. They don't have money to work with anyway.
But he can win around, I guess, with just the AWP. I don't know.
He's feeling. He strikes me as the kind of player that has the confidence to go. If he doesn't get a kill in the next 10 seconds, though, he's out, gone. What is the money, Hank?
So they have an average around maybe 2K. Well, with the 0, actually, it's probably around 1,300, I guess. It's going to be with the AWP saved. You get a force up anyway, right? But they'll probably have a mixture of maybe 2 for masses, 1 M4, and that AWP, and maybe pistols. I don't know. It's going to be very tight, whatever happens. Accurate's going to find a couple more, though. 3 kills in total, but match point obtained by mousesports. That should be the game. With the AWP up, Accurate's had a quiet one, but if he starts arriving now, they need 8 rounds in a row just to keep their heads above water. But let's see what kind of buy they get. So 2 M4s, that's a FAMAS. AE might have a little bit less. We'll see. I assume he's been dropped a weapon at this point. He goes to Julies. Well, that's a interesting purchase. Out of all the weapons available, went for those. They are $400 now. And it will be Accurate to open things up. Takes down Oscar. This time bests him.
So somebody slightly off angle at sandbags with crosshair placement to catch out a headshot, but forced off by the fact that Molotov lands too close for comfort. Right side of him, and Chris checks it with a flash. Very well executed from mousesports, gives them an even situation at 4s, which favors the offense because defense now thinned out considerably more so because it is Inferno. Yes, you can anchor B solo, but that's with the advantage of having banana control. They don't have that. Instead, it's going to be AE desperate to try and push down and reclaim some map control. Rops has revealed that he's in the underpass. See if AE can get there in time with the dualies. Just barely misses the opportunity as Rops gets inside of Banana. They've got them surrounded. 1 directly in B, 1 towards Speedway, and 2 at the bottom side of mid in Banana. That's going to be DD. And a long shot, DD follows it up as AE got taken down, but the advantage now goes to TyLoo, and everyone has guns. So take away that advantage that mousesports had at the start of the round. Chris J still wants to find Bin. Tet smoke behind him, but he was too content and too complacent in his positioning, looked to the boost and gave up a shot from Orange's 2. It's now 8 rounds for TyLoo.
Definitely is. They start their campaign. They have got mousesports to a position where they might consider going for a partial buy here, but the first AK start to come in. LMBT looking very comfortable at the back there. Smile on his face, knowing that this one's pretty much a lock-in at this point. Just a matter of time, but TyLoo trying to drive it to overtime. Mousesports have been known in the past to drop some huge leads before. Think back to Boston Major. That was rather catastrophic in the group stages, but I'm sure they'll be fine here. TyLoo holding on to whatever they can. Sicker with just the deagle here. He's now on 7 kills, 14 deaths. 26 for Sunny, by the way. 21 for Oscar. No one breaking 20 on TyLoo just yet, but there's still time. Chris J looking for that first pick towards B. Speculative shots towards Coffins. Nothing connecting just yet.
Sticko will rotate all the way back around. Good positioning from Chris. No one facing. Gives them a plethora of options to work with. Make a bit of noise, but then the smokes and flashes in. Molotov as well. Makes it to Orange's 1, but as it's bouncing and the gun's not drawn, somebody's able to take down Chris. Responded by Sticko, but still they've got an awkward situation. The fact that they're about to get pinched and pushed. Sunny with the read. Great reaction as well, and DD's gone. Bomb to be planted, and it might be the round and the match in series.
That was pretty unbelievable from Sunny. They needed someone to step up with the hero play, and he certainly did it. That's going to be the game indeed. 4 versus 1. AE hasn't been posting big numbers so far. He's on 8 and 19, so that's going to be it. It's going to be 16-8. This series wasn't as tantalizing we potentially hoped for, Matt. Was a little bit disappointing in the end. TyLoo beating Na'Vi yesterday 2-0. We thought they really could give mousesports a decent game. Train was pretty good, but Inferno started off hot, but mousesports has run away in the second.
Certainly did, and it does come a bit to losing the pistol when they were already down rounds, gave them a boost, but the double-up setup certainly hindered the economy in the long run.
I think so. Like the fact they have to force themselves onto it every single time means they're lacking utility every single gun round they go into, at least the beginning of each half. One thing I will say about TyLoo, though, I think their T-stat strategies were actually pretty interesting. We're seeing some nice variations on beloved ones like the 4 players towards the apps, which is normally pretty standard with 1 flashbang, 1 smoke down. They were throwing like 6 or 7 flashes at a time, and everyone's just getting in there. It's like people blinding that pit for, I think, at least 5 seconds. It was pretty unbelievable. It was a lot of fun to watch that one, and you can see Pala just rounding up one of the boys now to see who will do the interview. He's normally Chris J, but
the default was really solid as well from TyLoo. I'm thinking the double-up setup without Captain Mo here is accurate, primary Italy being AE. I'm wondering if it's a go-to because they thought, hey, this works. We don't have a lot of depth right now with this lineup, with the stand-in.
Yeah.
So if you're both good with that gun and that gun's effective, let's just rely on it. I'm wondering if at this point they do have to reconsider it.
Yeah, he really dropped off in that second map especially. So obviously like we have to make sure we mention that they are playing with a stand-in this tournament. It looked great yesterday, probably everything clicking, everyone fragging, that it kind of worked, but it's not going to be sustainable. You know, with a stand-in, you haven't really worked with him. They didn't really train that much at all coming into this tournament. They had to play with a stand-in today. That was obviously going to be weak, but Inferno, we expected a bit more. They had some interesting T rounds, but like you said, they lost both pistols, and then at that point, the second half really ran away from them.
Well, that said, Paula has found a man to speak to. I don't know who it is, but he's about to tell us.
It's Mr. Mika. Sunny from Mouse. Sado, I can confirm. Congratulations, now 2-0. What was that like against TyLoo?
They've been doing great past few months, so we didn't underestimate them ascent, and I think that the focus was more on our side today, and that's why it was so clean.
Now, as we just spoke off camera, we established that at the last StarSeries, you guys also started off 2-0, but then you went 3-2. How are you going to make sure that doesn't happen this time?
A full focus, fast win.
Yeah, I mean, but is there any specific mind strategy going into that? Like, how do you make sure those mistakes don't happen again or lose that momentum that you currently have?
I think last time we just lost because we didn't have enough experience in these kind of situations, and we had like never beat G2 and I think Cloud9 before, so we had some pressure. But now, like when we have done it before, I don't see that pressure happening, and I think that if we play our game, we will just go through.
What were the key battles against TyLoo? Which players did you have to shut down to make sure you guys could win?
I think, short. Our game plan today was not to go too many. Not to do too much individual plays. We just try to play as team, get the bomb down, and we knew that if we have like clutch situations after plans, we will win them because of experience.
Now, as we know, you guys are the current StarSeries I-League champions. For you, Sonny, personally, I can't remember who I asked from your team, but I did ask the same question. What does it mean to defend that title, and how badly do you want to win it once again?
After a disappointing result in EPL Dallas, we're really hungry, and it means a lot.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to touch upon as well. With regards to Dallas coming out of it, were you extra excited for a chance to perform again, or were you feeling a bit down and out?
You mean here or Dallas?
As in coming out of that interview.
Okay. I mean, we had 1 week home. We used 2 full practice days, and I think that there is some new hunger, and it's hard to explain like this, but it just feels that everyone is much more hungry to win.
Awesome. Well, Sonny, thank you very much for your time. If you'd like to say anything to everybody watching, please do go ahead.
Thanks for watching.
Nice. Sonny, take care. Now let's head back to our desk.